Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2020 video. Today we're taking another run with the Electrostar EP from Armstrong Powerhouse and doing a scenario with some of the bits and pieces that came with, I think, the 319 pack, if I remember rightly. This is 1 Alpha 06, he says, like he knows but needs to double check. 1 Alpha 06. This run, I'm guessing, now I don't know where the run with Guards in Southern, so I'm going to say yes, we're going to go DOO anyway. I'm going to enter a made up driver's number. Oh, I need to do driver ID. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Morning. Due to unplanned and slow introduction of the new Bombardier Class 377 Electrostar family to the South Central Fleet, many of the old slammers found themselves an extended life sentence with prolonged service. However, by May 2003, the new builds eventually found themselves being introduced on the mainline coast services. This morning, you oversee a pair of new Electrostars in the 842 Brighton to London Victoria semi-fast service. You'll be calling at Haywards Heath, Gatwick Airport, East Croydon, Clapham Junction and London Victoria. This service, one of many to be trialled with the new driver-only operation. Perfect, we've got that right. Route code is 1000. We need that next. So that's 1000, enter, send, and GSMR is 1 Alpha 47, is it? So not out 1 Alpha 06. 444's right, 1 Alpha 06 surely. Alpha 06444. Go. There is a 40-mile-per-hour TSR in place at Quarry Tunnel due to overrunning engineering works. I've no idea where Quarry Tunnel is, so let's see if that just surprises us and jumps up and bites us in the rear, which I'm expecting it to at some point soon. Right, doors closed. We're all good. No, we're not, because we're not in forward, Alan. That would have been the sensible option. I haven't done a London to Brighton run with the 377 yet, so I'm quite looking forward to it. It's weird to think these were coming online in 2003. Now, that's 17 years ago. I still think of these as very much modern day units. Now, some of you watching this video will have been born around then or after then. And probably maybe not think of these as older units, but I even think some like the Slammers were old when I was younger. You know what I mean? They weren't new by any stretch of the imagination. But it's weird with generations of trains. I think when we get a new generation of stuff, like at the moment we're in a big transition period, so you have things like the IETs and things like that. But even if you look at like 395s, 395s, they must be knocking 11, 12 years old. It's pretty crazy. We're not stopping at this little place here. Brilliant. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I'll remember it as soon as I see it. When I get to a sign that I can actually see. Preston Park. There we go. Preston Park. So I should have installed on here as well now the occlusion fix, the tunnel occlusion fix for the tunnel occlusions, but that's from DP Simulations. If you go to more at the end and then go down to scenery, I think it's in there. That just means that the tunnel should give me the correct occlusions. I know that when I streamed this route a couple of days ago, it wasn't particularly decent occlusion wise, but fingers crossed this should sort it out properly. Also, I think I have a what I call a tractingle EP in, which is by Zander Cole, if I remember rightly. We'll have a look at that when we do some passing shots in a bit. So see how the tunnel goes dark? That's tunnel occlusion. So that happens when you go under bridges or through tunnels, things like that. Things that would make the lighting change within the cab, basically. And it does really add to the immersion, making sure it's correct. It feels correct. Gives you that little bit more of a, ooh, look at that. I've actually gone under something big and dark. So you can see how most things that cause shadows, we should get an occlusion for. I'm not sure if the DPS one's absolutely perfect. I haven't used it in a long time. We'll find out on the run, I suppose. It's one of those little things that you just don't think about until you notice it being missing. So I quite like to have them in, but I haven't had them in for ages. So as much as I noticed them, it wasn't the end of the world not having them. And I think because of the timing of this, Brighton, that's why you had the scaffolding up and everything like that. I'm pretty sure that comes with one of the volumes of the 319 pack that AP did, that just gave it a little bit, added something to a route beforehand. If you haven't watched the video on the 319 EP, go and have a watch that, because I go through all the what I think of it and everything like that in that video. Right, let's try and see if we can test our tractingle. So you know that really annoying beforehand, it should be slightly different on this. It's a lovely little modification, and that's available from Zander's own website. But I remember getting the London to Brighton for Microsoft Train Sim, and these being the new unit to drive. It came with this, a 319. I think it came with an MPV as well, but just had a 319 cab. It was a bit weird, but it was good. Love this hazy weather. I always think Haywards Heath's like literally like 20 miles from Brighton as well. It's really not. It's quite weird. Why that's in my head? I've got no idea. It's still a route I need to do properly in real life. Because I can do it direct from Cambridge now as well. I mean, I don't know how. It's not the most reliable of service, the Cambridge to Brighton run. But I would like to do it. You look yellow. I think from what I remember from the readme of this, there's a 5 to 10 minute wait outside Victoria. I'll see how we feel when we get there, whether we async that or not. Now, talking of the London to Brighton route, this I think is a perfect route for TSW. I think it'd go really, really well in TSW. And considering we've now got the 377 as well, maybe we might see it. I will go over the question answer video that was done by Matt P and Colonel Failure. I will go do a video over that as well, just to go through what I thought of that question answer session. But yeah, this would be one of the things I would love to see in TSW. So I've got a stopper ahead of me by the looks of things. That's probably going to be a slammer as well, I think, so not the worst acceleration in the world. Some of the slammers were rapid, really rapid. Reps were quite well known for being incredibly quick off the mark, so Seps and 41s, 43s, that sort of thing. I'm not massively sure what their real world acceleration was like. I know their braking wasn't as good, being tread braked. It's not a stopper because that would have stopped there, wouldn't it? That's just gone to double, so we're sitting about right. That's probably got to 65. Getting lots of use out of the AWS button. On a note of those, they're all going really well. Still looking at estimated shipping date of the 1st of July for those of you that have ordered one. And the next batch I'm hoping to have ready for pre-order as soon as possible. When that exactly is, I'm unsure at the minute, but I'm hoping to have another batch up as soon as we can. So for those of you that missed out on the first lot, don't worry. I know quite a few people have emailed and said, in fact, like 35 or 36, I think, by the last count. I've gone to 70 instead of 65. Let's see how we do with that. If we start getting back down to single yellows, we'll come off. We've got 40 limit coming up anyway, so I'd expect us to be slowing down a little bit, because the train in front will have had to have slowed down a little bit. So we could well be at a single, yeah. Now remember, never assume that signal is... Now I'm thinking, oh, that train's moving, that would have cleared by the time we get there, blah, 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 blah. The chances are it might not have. So if you're ever thinking about this in real terms, you would never assume what the next signal will be. That's gone off to another line in front of us, which is great. So we should now be clear. But again, don't assume, but I can see that we're green, so we're good to go. Not that we're going to accelerate massively, because we're just stopping at Haywards Heath anyway. And I've still not perfected braking in this train. So it should be at one of the other platforms when we get into Haywards Heath. My guess is platform 2. Would that be right? Because I'm guessing it's gone off to the left. Because there was a 40 limit on the HUD. I'm talking to you guys like you don't know this. Of course you know this stuff. Ah, it could have gone off to the right, see? See? Could have been reversing and now going back towards Brighton, I don't know. Some interesting services down this end, and it's intensive. It's intensive. No, it hasn't gone into that platform on the left, look. Oh, it's 319 as well. Nice. 8 cars. Not pro, but not awful. T and U, because we're DOO. I remember when that livery literally looked like the most modern thing in the world. And I didn't massively like it because it was getting rid of the NSE branding on them. And I really liked the Thomson NSE, especially the full white at the front. Oh, what a stunning livery. Now to Shatwick Airport. Probably my least favourite of the London airports. It's awkward. I don't mind it for a transatlantic flight, but I don't like it for going like domestic or European, like short haul flights. Because it's just a lot of it. It takes me so long to get there. Coming from Cambridge, it's like the wrong side of London. It's not even really London at all. It's a bit like London Stansted, which is like Essex. It's like 20 minutes from me. London Luton or London Southend. Is it London Southend? I'm not sure it's London Southend. London Newquay. London Prestwick. Sort of something that I always think came about with low-cost airlines, wasn't it? Because they always used to love to fly. Ryanair and EasyJet were always famous for flying you into airports that were, I'd say close. That's a lie. In the same country as the capital city where they said they were flying into. You see the work on the viaduct as well, the Eastway Viaduct. I think they're slightly better at it now. I think they're as bad as it used to be. Let's see, 89, 90. An 80 speed restriction coming up. I've got to try and remember which one's Quarry Hill Tunnel. No idea. For a 40 mile per hour TSR, which I'm guessing we should get, knowing Josh, So Miss Streamliner, we will have a box, a plate to tell us. So trying to keep my eyes peeled for that one. For an old route, it still holds up well. I'd love to see it have a bit of an overhaul, sort of foliage-wise and things like that. A bit of extra clutter added here and there, but all in all, it's still a pretty good route. And I think this is the second. Did we get a revamped version of this? Did it come out once and then get revamped again or something? I can never remember with this one. I think somebody was saying the other day that it was something like 8 years ago this came out. Like very recently, it was like the anniversary of its launch sort of thing. Can't remember how long it had been out. I think it was 2012. The way they've got like some other like the stains on the seats and stuff. Headrests spotted with coffee. Saying that, the pre-production batch of the combined traction brake controllers should hopefully be here very, very soon. Which is based off the Electrostar anyway, so I am really looking forward to getting my hands on that with this EP. And then, fingers crossed, we'll be able to give you prices for production versions. Shetwick Airport. It's the weird train sim. Is it like an A310 or something? There's not many of them left flying really now, is there, A310s? In 2003, would we start having the 460s would probably be started to be introduced about then, would they? So, like I started this with like new train fleets stuff. I have this weird thing about train fleets. Basically, anything like Electrostars and everything that came in 2000. It's just in my head that way. That's literally what it was, 2000. So I may have got that completely wrong. But I did really like the old Gatwick Express stuff. Solid Mark IIs. You had the, what was this class? It's a 489. Was it 489? Something like that. MLV, motor luggage van. All been done by 73, which is on diesel. Was that another A310 coming in? Yep. Oh, cool. Never noticed that. That's wicked. Ah, battery soft. Battery soft. In here early, some decent padding in this timetable. Speed things up a little bit. Oh. My slammers seem to be silent. That's a new one on me. Transformer hum. Oh, why is that happening then? Might have been because I'd asynced it just before, I'm not sure. Quite a nice screenshot that. Oh, long stop at Gatwick. Up a little bit more. I suppose it would have been quite long just because there'd been people getting bags on and off, I suppose. Those A310s around somewhere. Oh, there's 460. Another unit I don't get to drive as much as I'd want to on train sim. Might drive a bit of that tonight on stream, you know. Now East Croydon Club Junction on Victoria, isn't it? Really nice relaxed run for a 377. See how hectic it gets when we get into London. That'll be the interesting bit. Please remember that we have an upcoming 40 mph TSR at the mouth of Quarry Hill Tunnel. Prepare to slow down in accordance. It might be about here. No, I think then we come down and then there's a tunnel. Oh, I was right. Look at my route knowledge. Lack of. It's awful, isn't it? Considering how many times I've actually probably driven this route. TSRs always make a scenario different. I wouldn't say always interesting. Sometimes they're a real pain in the backside place. But, well, just like real life, I suppose. They do sort of an extra dimension. Is probably a better way to put it, isn't it? bit of old school Gatwick Express there. So it would have been obviously transition-y time for these. I think that's what I'm really enjoying about this scenario. I'm not having to drive one of the ropey slammers, and they're not. I love them in real life, but the TS ones are definitely showing their age now. But I'm also getting to drive something that feels very modern to drive. It's one of those routes that gives me a sense of accomplishment. You've done a run on this route. I feel like I've done a run on this route. And some routes you can't really say that with. You can do sort of 3/4 of a run or whatever like that, like a not start to end service. Whereas with London to Brighton, it's a short, concise start to end service, which goes some way towards a bit of self-gratification. And there's also somebody I noticed put up a video of a scenario of the speed run that these guys did. I don't think that went from Victoria though. I'd have to look it up again. But the London to Brighton speed run and the 377. I know I would love to give that a go. Me and Molmad have been saying for ages that we'll have to see who can do it better. And now with this back, if he's got it, we'll have to see if we can get that done. That'd work out quite well. There's no doubt Molmad will win because he knows the route so well. It's his sort of area. I'd be pretty much 100% reliant on the HUD. So it really would depend on how accurate the HUD is. And it's not even that, it'd be knowing when to accelerate, when to start braking, to get the best out of it, wouldn't it? So I suppose it need a good bit of train handling as well, so you know, I'm in with a chance, I would say. Slim. But a chance. It's really annoying me why my slammers haven't got any sounds. Should reinstall the sound pack. Oh, it's a 30 actually at the end, at the edge of East Croydon there. Where's the stock car marker for 8 on this? It's 10, 8. Right, let's get doors open. Take something. I'm going to start having micro sleeps. The heat in the shed is just. I wasn't even that tired. The heat's going to make me sleep. Does anybody else get that? If I get too, that's why I don't really like the heat too much. I'd much rather be cold and be able to like wrap up than be too hot and unable to strip down. You can't really get away with walking around naked. It doesn't really happen. And then even then you can only get so cold when you're naked. Whereas warming yourself up, you can get pretty toasty. Don't get me wrong, I like the summer and stuff. Winter's my favourite season. And you will notice a little bit my voice isn't quite back up to scratch. I've not been particularly well the last week. But feeling right as rain now. Just about. Throat's still getting there. And a bit bunged up, but apart from that, it's all good. So a summer cold is just not what we need either. And it wasn't just a cold, it was proper man flu. Real man flu. No, it was fine. I still did manage to do quite a lot actually, but quite a lot of not a lot. Probably the best way to say it. No, la. End up with a copyright strike from some Facebook advert. Oh, just sitting there, completely forgot we stopped at Clapham Junction. I was just thinking about my approach to Victoria and whether I'd have to async it or not, but I forgot Clapham Junction. mate. Should have done that a bit before, but you know. I don't remember it being 60 all the way up here. But look how short those signal sections are, so you wouldn't want to be going much faster, would you really? I suppose it's coming into the busiest station in the UK. I think, isn't that by train number, not... I can never remember. Is it busiest by train number, not by passenger numbers or whatever? I can't remember. I think it's by number of trains. So is Waterloo one of the busiest by footfall? One of you guys will let me know in the comments anyway. Our journey was slow. Check out this. Those and double yellows as well. Clapham Junction. Another 460 bonus. Lovely bit of tile start coming into Clapham Junction there. I'm sure our FPS will take a bit of a tumble when we get actually into Clapham Junction. It's not too bad. Ah, 455s and their dodgy sounds are in now. Look at the amount of tracks. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I think we get the message your doors are closing, mate. Oh, and you're going to get let out in front of us. Nice. We should be out of here by now. Did I actually have my doors open there or not? I don't think I did. Right, now it's the trundle into Victoria. In the README it does say there could be a 5 to 10 minute wait here. We'll see how we go with that. I remember this bit looking spectacular when this first came out because of the super elevation. This is one of the routes that really showed it off. 375. We stopped just after that 20 limit, I think. Well, I don't think I know now. Well, I don't, because we're not assuming, remember? We're not assuming. We could get clear in, but we don't know. Came up to that a bit close. Still have a bit of high-speed train spotting at Victoria. Pretty decent mix of some old, semi-modern and new there, isn't there? 375, 377, 465s, 455s, 456. So a few generations of trains. Slammer on its way out. That should hopefully start freeing the platforms up a little bit for us now. Oh, let the Gatwick Express out. Hopefully with these two out of the way, that should then free us up. Yes. Is that 460 in? Yeah, brilliant. Well, I must say, I've really enjoyed that scenario. It's been nice to drive the 377 again, give it another good stretch of its legs on a route that it really, really suits. This scenario, not massively pay-wear intensive, not massively memory intensive, and it's run really smoothly for me, so I'm really, really impressed with that. Well done, Miss Streamliner. So, I will leave you when I've opened the doors here, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Head on over to alansim.com for all your latest train sim needs. Head over to Twitch on a Sunday and Wednesday from 7 PM for a adult style pub themed adult-themed pub-style talk about trains. So it's not adult in that sense, but it can be sometimes, but it's adult in the sense of adult humour and adult language. Head over to the Facebook group for all your other needs, or to chat or anything like that. Talk about real trains, virtual trains, not really fussed. So, once again, guys, thanks ever so much, and I shall catch yous next time.